So I think the first thing we need to do is have a better name for this class. So I'll put this up on the internet. I don't think like large scale board / reduction problems is a good title. Anyone having a good idea for?
Reduction practice?
That's also boring though.
Redoblems.
Redoblems.
I don't know.
I like that.
Redoblems. Sold. Video has been titled. All right, so anyway, as you guys are already well aware at this point, we've got 6 real, these are all from pro games, with one exception I'll tell you about. Haha, plot twist.
Oh no.
Oh no. All pro game problems that, you know, are interesting board positions in their own right, but the move that the pro plays is a reduction type of move. And since the last couple weeks we've been looking at reductions and then before that invasions, I thought it'd just be very appropriate to sort of, you know, take them en masse and try to, you know, look at them with a fresh view of Go strategy. So some of these moves are also really creative. I'm going to guarantee that no one in here got more than 3 at the most, but probably 2. Maybe one person got 2. I didn't really pay enough attention to what you guys are actually thinking about. I think it might be some of you guys got close to 3. No?
I feel very unconfident about every problem.
Maybe collectively as a class you guys can get 3.
Okay. There we go.
If we take all the moves and amalgamate. And
3 between all of us.
yeah, between all of you. All right, so tell me about this board. We got a lot of activity over here. What's going on this side?
So attrition for the corner.
It's a what?
It's a war for attrition at the corner.
It's a war for attrition where? I don't see attrition.
Well, not attrition, but like, it's kind of like white has the chance to invade the top left corner, your bottom right.
My bottom, so
Yeah.
down here, this is pretty solid though. White can reduce it with this
Yeah.
move. That's a big reduction, but I think the really key thing is this is actually quite settled. Like there isn't actually anything interesting to do over here. Like if you're black, what do you, like you want to separate white, right? So you're like, aha, I'm going to peep at you, right? This is a good idea, except what?
White connects.
No, no.
No?
Why is this gonna go play somewhere else?
It's not big
Oh,
enough.
You're
no,
threatening
it
2
doesn't matter.
stones.
Sure.
You're like, but wait, no, if I cut you here, then I can also cut you here. But, I mean, that's 2 more stones, right? Can I find 3 moves, if I get 3 moves in a row to play elsewhere on the board, can I get more than 4 stones worth of points?
Sure.
Probably. So, I'm hesitant, very hesitant to want to play a move like this. This move is okay, like peeping here, that's a little bit more significant, but we can do that anytime. So everything else, basically, white is more or less safe. I mean, if we want to upset white, this is the move to start. White's not really going to care. He's like, I'm still safe enough. And meanwhile, all this black is pretty safe. This is pretty safe. This really can't get that much larger, or it can only get a little bit smaller. Same thing over here. This is actually not really under threat of becoming white territory. There's too many black stones there. Which all means this is uninteresting. So find me something more interesting going on.
Maybe here.
Ah, now why there?
To put pressure on this guy and
Separate him from his comrades.
Yeah, now this normally is a great idea. You're like, hey, I've got this strong group here, and I've got a little white fish very close to my fishing net. So what do?
We real attack.
We say, come on, little fish, swim into my net. There's a big problem, though. This little fish is going to become a shark and grow up real fast.
Sure.
I feel like our net is
And then this
more
guy's
like a
getting
couple
smart.
of strands of string that we're like floating in the water.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not the best net in the world. I don't think it's going to catch very large fish. It might be able to catch this one guppy fish, but once it gets bigger, it's not catching
No
much.
bueno.
No bueno.
But if you play from the top, maybe you can push it down.
Yeah, maybe the key idea isn't so much that we need to push things into our net. We actually need a bigger net first. And maybe we can find a move that actually puts some pressure on the fish while we build a bigger net. You guys have any ideas? Daniel has an idea.
Shoulder hit.
So
And if you're trying to build your net,
Here?
you could do it from that side.
yeah, we want this one.
Yeah.
This is a very nice move. And this is actually a shape, if you guys see these 3 stones, I'm gonna separate them. This is actually a pretty good go shape to know. They're not purely connected, white can still separate, but it's certainly a good fighting shape. For your opponent to try to disconnect is gonna cost them. So if we know about that shape, we can kind of see this already has a connection of something. And there's a lot of pressure on this white stone. You know, if white just backs off, we're actually kind of happy. We're like, okay, you're just gonna crawl to safety? Good, you keep slinking away. You wanna slink away? Good for you.
Did white jump at that point?
It's probably 1, 2, 3,
Since he has the extra abilities at the back?
not really.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I would still hesitate to do this. These aren't real liberties. These aren't your friend. These aren't things, right? So there's a ladder over here, right? White takes the stone. I mean, it's a fight.
So, yeah, because
Definitely looks scary for white.
So what kind of fish would you call this?
What kind of fish would I call this? Well, actually, yeah, white can't even
Looks
play
like
this.
a
This is just
dead
dead.
fish.
This is dead. He's dead.
So
So
1, 2, 3 jump is a better
1, 2,
proverb.
3 jump is usually what I teach.
Yes.
It's true. Sometimes you gotta look at 2. All right, so we had this on the board, I think is where we were at.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's one white stone and not this black stone. But then you say, hey, white's gonna come up and fight. And white's gonna cut through and fight. But now what?
That fish loses its head.
This little fish here? Well, this fish still has some life to it. This fish can still fight. But black gets a free push here. And it might even have time, I haven't read any of this out, but might even have time to play this. Or it can just plan on a move in the middle over here to keep this fight going. So depending on if this move works, we have to read this out. This is probably not a good fight for white. If white can't short the liberties on this, these 4 are gonna die. So in this case, white will probably just link up, do something like this. And if black wants to be extra safe, black can also just pull back and make sure there's no defects, and we have a bigger fishing net. How many points did white get in this variation?
6.
These are, yeah, say 8 to 10.
And Sente.
Probably. White, if black has to come back, white also gains Sente. But let's compare. Let's say black doesn't do any of this. And black is like, I want your 2 stones.
Oh no.
All right. Now white plays here.
It turned into a shark.
Huge box.
Yeah, now how is our fishing net?
Yeah. Suddenly I see the urgency.
Yeah, and we said there was maybe 10 points over here before. This gets real big real fast if this has while this is running.
All stones? Sure. All stones? It's okay.
It's everything, man. Let's go. Go is everything. Go is all the fish in the ocean all at once.
This job, you have to move.
So yeah,
He had the move.
Christian had it too. And
Yeah.
Daniel was also like, I think the shoulder head is pretty good. And I was like, I don't know. Have you thought about it? So yeah, that's a pretty good move in this case.
Did white push up?
Yeah, white can definitely push up, and the variation is actually probably going to look fairly similar. If white tries to fight directly, white will be able to capture the stone, but this fishing net gets a lot stronger.
Sure.
So white can get more points by doing this,
Sure.
but we're really not worried now with this fishing net. If we have to take that, we might have to take that push if we want to get it in Sente.
Sure.
But now we can go do whatever we want, and we don't have to worry about being
in this
attacked.
variation, black gets Sente. And
So even if white just fights directly, which is probably better than just crawling,
yeah.
it's still you still get what you want as black.
Yeah.
You still accomplish your goal.
Yeah, I buy it.
All right, next problem.
What did the pro respond to?
You didn't memorize the whole game?
No, I did not. I did not. All right, this one.
Oh yeah, we talked about this one for a long time.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Hopefully we talked about the right area of the board.
Yeah. Actually, I have a high degree of confidence in you guys in this one. I think, because tell me what's going on this board. Are there any weak groups?
No?
Not really. So this is kind of like find the biggest move situation. There's no like big weak groups to kill or bases to upset or things to defend that would let us die. It's kind of a find the biggest move problem. And so what's biggest on this board?
White's
Yeah, look at that left-hand side. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Clearly, also knowing this is a reduction problem, that is the area we have to focus our attention on. Because again, this is like 2 of my hands. All right, and we have it's like 3/4 of a hand, 3/4 of a hand, half a hand. So this, if white gets all this, this is just as big as basically all the territory we have. And white gets this corner and Comey. So yeah, let's figure something out. What do you want to try?
So you could just try playing right on the sector line. Unclear if that's sufficient.
Here or here?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, any other ideas?
You could take advantage of the Kima.
There is a defect there. How do we take advantage of it?
Play closer to that side.
Show me a point. Show me a point. Yeah. Eric just got here. Eric, this is like Eric
Sorry.
hasn't studied this. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm just calling you out. And
This
saying,
might be too aggressive, but you could run this way.
So if you do that,
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't know next.
all right. But for the people who are wondering, if you like go, this is probably the usual shape to poke at that cut. This is usually the safer shape. But in this case, it's probably even worse because white's probably playing this.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care if you cut because you're just dead.
It's too aggressive.
And this will also end similarly. White will probably play here.
I was thinking maybe you could like just play really lightly, like cut, and then try to like get something that lives here, and then I don't know. But yeah, so
Yeah.
probably maybe just threaten to support a stone that's there.
Yeah. Okay. Not bad. Anyone want to go deeper?
Well, so I kind of wanted to go deeper, not in any of those spots, but like a probe to see if I could find some Aji that I could take advantage of later when I went back to the sector line. I did not find a spot that I really liked to probe, but something like that attachment. I also thought about this, which arose is even further away from the sector line, but it is at least a probe I've seen before.
Yeah. I'm going to say no probes today.
Okay.
I guarantee you, number one, if you play a probe in your game, you're either going to misplay the direction horribly or mistime the probe, just by default. Like a probe is like for me, I found it to be a really useful excuse when someone says, "What is that move supposed to be doing?" I can say, "It's a probe, okay?" But like really having a fundamental understanding of probes is something that I don't expect any of you to actually have. And we're just gonna scrap from our memory right now. Like in your own games, play it because often you'll trick your Q opponents quite splendidly.
So it's just psychological warfare. Just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just as likely to trick yourself. There's a lot of reading with probes. Like that's the thing. That's why they get played in pro games is because they're complicated. Because like I'm gonna make the situation over here, make the situation over here, I'm gonna make the situation over here, and then I'm gonna pick one, and you're not gonna know which one I want to pick. So I'm gonna probe you. Yeah, let's not talk about that. All right, but I like the sector idea line. If we go in deeper, we're just gonna counterattack. And I actually even think white has multiple ways to counterattack. I think this is good enough. I think this is also good enough. I think this works too. It's very, very difficult. I think white might be able to play something like this. And just say, yeah, good luck. But certainly this feels really deep, and unless you're really good at life and death reading, you just now have a 16 move life and death problem, like right now. So if you can read that out and it works for you, play it. I'm going to say, when we have these giant moyos and giant areas that we have to reduce, we look at something called a sector line. What is a sector line? Well, this is a giant Godzilla mouth, and here's like its lips. And basically we just look at the space between its lips, and that's our safety zone. And if we play inside the safety line, it's generally assumed that our opponent will counterattack us from the outside, here,
They close the mouth.
and close the mouth. If we play outside the sector line, it's generally assumed that our opponent will just, take that many points. And so we want to give our opponent the most difficult position possible and play somewhere in between, just right on that line. Where our opponent is really hamstrung is, should we attack it? Should we defend? And no matter what our opponent chooses, it's going to feel bad for him. So what do you think? Where should we play along the sector line?
In the middle?
Yeah, usually we just go in the middle. That's to say, that's a good, unless there's a weakness we want to exploit. Middle is usually the safest. So where's the middle? I want to find the point exactly.
This one and this one.
Yeah, so which one though?
Well, I feel like since this is a pro game, I'm now a pro and want to go in deeper.
There you go. This is the game move. Yes. And furthermore, once we have a stone there, we can then start thinking about going in deeper, right? This is a really nice anchor to go in deeper.
How would white respond?
So in this case, I don't know. I mean, if we're just going to be greedy, like this is not a bad idea. This is also potentially playable. But that's just greedy. We're just trying to make points directly. Pro games don't usually do that, right? What you see when someone plays a nice, legitimate move, and by legitimate, I mean like, there's no good way to attack this, my opponent is entitled to it. It's usually a two-step process where we're like, okay, we're going to up the ante. And I'm going to go find a bunch of free stuff over here, see if I can get a couple responses. Maybe I can find some free stuff over here. And now we're going to dance. Right, do you see, what we did here? So usually we can't, in actual professional high-level Go playing, when our opponent plays a legitimate move that we do not like that they played, we up the ante or we find something else to do in order to create confusion or attack it. So anyway, this move is a very nice point. It's a classic sector line move. I mean, most of these moves would also work. I don't think this move is bad either, as is this one. But this just has a very nice balance between two areas. It's the safest, and it keeps the territory in black's favor. So we like it. Nice. Any other questions? It also serves as a nice anchor if we do want to poke this shape later, like Eric wanted. Right? This is so much happier now.
Right, yeah, it's actually got support.
Yeah. So, okay, next board. All right, we got even more stones on this board. And what do we think is going on here? Someone tell me
These
something.
look bad here.
Those look
Black.
bad.
Our opponent has built quite the net,
Yeah.
and we kind of look like guppies.
Well, who has territory?
Black.
Black actually has way more territory than white.
White has.
White needs to profit here to win this game, because look at white's guaranteed territory. We have about 5 points here. We have about 10 here, maybe 15 if we play another move, and Comey.
So just needs to not die.
Well, or not let it become so large. We can let part of this die, right? Because I'm counting the score right now, and I just got about 25 points for white. Black over here, if we're counting, right, there's 20. There's about another 10, so there's 30 just there alone. Another 10 for 40, almost another 10. Let's even round up to plus 10 in points and captures here. So black is like at 60. So we've got like 35 more points than our opponent. We can let our opponent make 30 points there and be cool. What do we do?
Some weird shapy sabaki thing.
Some weird shapy sabaki thing. Well, let me ask another question. Can black just cut and fight here? Can we just go like this?
Oh no, need that liberty.
Oh no, oh no. It's like, let's start a fight and kill that and kill that and kill everything.
Does this work now?
Oh yeah. White doesn't care about this. White's just going to extend here and kill your corner. This liberty is super important. This is not a real cut. So it's this stone actually protects this cut, right, which is kind of cool. So we can't, as far as white's concerned, this is all connected and this is all strong enough to be connected. So what I'm trying to say, I think, is white is really strong.
So black does have one free move. It's unclear if now is the time to take it, but maybe he can poke at this.
Yeah,
'Cause
here
white
or here,
definitely,
or here,
yeah,
right?
any of
Any-
those,
any of these.
any of those sorts of things.
Yep.
Because white definitely can't let this connect out to that, or
I would feel
might as well
bad.
resign.
But we don't need to, we can kind of do that anytime.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to say when you time that.
And we also don't know which one we want.
It's maybe a delay.
And so I would not be in any rush to play this.
Sure. Because if white comes back to fix it, then that's another free move you got running away.
Well, here's the other solution. Let's say we pick this one, and white connects, and now we play move out here. Now all of a sudden, this was actually a bad exchange, because if this whole thing dies, then we just, I mean, you could say this is 1 for 1. It didn't cost us anything, but it very well might have later on, right? Later on, maybe we give all this up, but we get this cut to work.
Sure.
And then if this cut works because I let white build a wall here to get strength out here, then maybe this cut works. So. I'm hesitant to take a free move like that right at the start.
Sure.
Let's figure out a bigger plan first. Does sector lines have any meaning in this shape?
Only if we're gonna abandon those stones.
We're going to use those stones.
They'll serve us well.
Like toward the center.
So is there a sector line we can calculate?
Here to here.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably the closest thing to a sector line. It looks like white could get even bigger, right? Like,
Yeah, I was like, this is almost the sector line.
can you imagine if white gets another stone here and we're like, oh, no, I don't know. But white hasn't gotten this move yet. And furthermore, if we plan the sector line, this is actually close enough to these 2 stones where maybe they can actually help us make life.
It's interesting.
So if the sector line's here to here, then is that the move?
This is pretty close, but my hunch is that you're still going to get counterattacked.
So not light enough.
And it'd be strengthening that.
And if you're like, no, look, I can run. I can run this way. Okay? You're like, I can run this way.
Giving him more territory with every.
Okay. Where are we running to?
The wall.
Yeah, it's not, again, there's no cut here, so it's very difficult. Maybe if you run all the way this way and then we can get another move down here, maybe we can take down the wall, but it's still difficult with the shape. Maybe. I'm gonna suggest a safer move. What would be safer? And annoy your opponent more.
Some like ridiculous jump like out to here or something.
This one's pretty good. The pro move is here. And again, when we play a move like this, it feels like we're playing very close to a strong white group. Like when we play these sector line reductions, we usually want them to be safe and have space and give our opponent, a very cumbersome way to attack it. Like, I'm not sure how you attack this effectively as white. And, the fact that it's close enough to those 2 stones such that maybe later on we can play this. Huh? That gets really annoying if you're white. But we also have enough room to run, and there are some defects out here that we can try to aspire to.
So what would white's response be?
I don't know. Again, I didn't really look past this in the pro games.
White's response is to be annoyed.
Play on the wall. Wouldn't he play on this side since that's underdeveloped and it would put pressure on that group?
Yeah, I mean, very likely. But again, we need to, if this just lives in here,
Yeah, then there's no point in having those walls, yeah.
yeah, it's not, we need to get, this move needs to be worth a lot, right? Anything we play needs to be worth a lot
yeah.
if we're not attacking directly. So the question is, I don't know, go look up the game. I don't remember who the players are.
Click through every pro game in history until we find this position.
You can go to
There's
Waltheri, right?
databases.
Yeah, you can go to Waltheri and
So how would white attack this? Here?
if you were just gonna cut off the tails?
I don't know.
I don't know, they're all kind of bad. Like again, black is very flexible. If you attack this way, black can certainly try here, but this is also
Just as bad.
a good move, yeah.
What if you, one up from there, right? Yeah. Okay, so as long as that white stone lives, and can interfere with enough of the eye space.
Yeah, black's getting stronger though, right? So it's,
Well, but if anything, I mean,
yeah, you just want to
if
keep
you
the
attack a
attack.
weak group, it gets stronger, right?
Right, yeah.
Unless it's like a you know.
Yeah, I see. You're just trying to not let it get ice. It's difficult.
Yeah, probably not a pro.
For right now, I think the most important thing is that you guys get a feeling for, again, the sector line concept, and my opponent's really strong, so I can play in somewhere here, and it just so happens I already have 2 friends in the neighborhood that might give you some other follow-ups. So, all right, let's go on the next board. Halfway done. This board. Now, this board is not entirely from a pro game. If you put this in a database, this will not come up as is. I did flip the colors, and as such, I had to add a stone, so maybe the whole problem got ruined. But I'm gonna go under the assumption that it doesn't. And I definitely wanted to show you this position because, again, I thought it ties into our lecture from last week really well and really creatively. Don't think too hard. Forget I said that. So tell me what's going on this board. What's going on over here?
The white cross shape there can be attacked.
All right, show me how. Okay, and then if white plays here.
And then goes to Co.
Yeah, there's a co for that whole, 6-stone group. That's cool. I like 12 points.
So, but that seems too easy.
You know what pros don't like? 12 points.
They don't like 12 points. That have no effect on anything else.
So, what could possibly be bigger than that?
What could possibly be bigger than 12 points? Nothing, I think.
13 points?
13 points?
Could that be bigger than 12 points?
No, not possible. So in short, there is garbage over here, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing, white is going to accept that there's garbage over here and just give up something and not worry about it.
All right.
I think that's how this works. And we could try to attack the whole thing on a larger scale, but the second we do that, white's just gonna make eye space and live. So it's not,
Okay.
like, black can profit over here, either this side or this side. But we can't really kill anything.
Aside from like those 7.
I mean, we could kill something, sorry. We could bite a tail, right? But we couldn't
Yeah.
kill, like, the entire group. We can get something. But we can't get something.
And it's not only like 12 points, it's 12 points for 2 moves, right? Like, cause you have to do the co.
If we're taking the co, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 2-point, 12-point move.
Yeah.
A 2-move, 12-point capture.
I'm pretty sure white's gonna be happy to just take 2 moves on the outside, be like,
Would totally be happy.
enjoy your 12 points.
That's right. So that's a really big end game move. If it lasts until end game, but for beginning of the middle game, or even middle of the middle game, it's not strategic enough.
But maybe it helps us think about it. If you did play the co, and let's say you're white, and you have to come up with something that's a co threat, what's big enough?
Any
So-
move.
Any move. You're like 1-1.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's lots of great moves for white on this board.
Yeah, no,
Why would like to
right.
continue developing
I guess,
anything on this
okay,
half of the board?
What's the
Yeah.
biggest co threat then?
Okay, so
Like,
that's something about.
so that stone on the, from your perspective, the top center there, is next to a very strong black group. But if that stone could be weakened, I guess you could try to kill the one on the bottom here. I don't know. It's
Yeah. Okay, well, let's focus our attention on the rest of the board. What's going on the rest of the board?
You have an approach stone of blacks that he clearly abandoned.
Why do people keep showing up?
Yeah.
This is weird. Because you came late, and you came late,
I5's
and you
a mess.
came late. I5 is a mess, is that what it is?
But with that abandoned approach stone, I mean, there's a lot of Aji there that you can
Agreed.
use right now as black.
Yeah.
Come in, and instead of using the shoulder hit to get out, we use it to get in.
Hey, why don't you show me the move you're thinking of? Oh my god. That's the pro move.
nice.
Nicely done.
And so this move does a lot of different things. Who can tell me one of them?
Puts a lot of pressure on this guy.
Perfect. Great first answer, right? Obvious. It's like, hey, there's a black stone here, or white stone here, and we have black stones all around it. So, hey, check your self. Okay, what else?
Reactivates our sad friend.
Yeah, this has a relationship. This has somewhere to go, right? So this isn't even a clear, like white has invested 3 stones in attacking this and it's not dead yet.
And it also helps they have 3 sort of over-concentrated, the things that are giving Atari to the invisible stone there.
Oh, these. Well, let's assume white makes this stronger. So this stone won't end up helping them, but if white doesn't make this stronger, yeah, then that gets, then it's very helpful. But this is even more pressure on this stone because we have the potential to get something larger. But also remember how there's a lot of crap over here?
Yeah.
Well, if black ends up getting even stronger, well,
Then you can attack the crap.
maybe that crap becomes really, something serious. Right now it's not. White's too flexible, so strength here is good. Next, if this stone becomes strong here, when we do want to invade over here, that's going to help tremendously. And then lastly, see all this black thickness? Black right now actually is entitled to some of the middle. Again, if we get strong over here, maybe we can play 1 or 2 moves against this garbage, and all of a sudden, we now own the middle. So this move has a lot of potential to do a lot of different things. I saw you guys contemplating this move for a while. What is white going to play?
Well, clearly something to help out this guy and attack those at the same time.
Yeah, probably just this.
Just jump.
This is more than good enough. It accomplishes all the things we wanted to do, except for our opponent. And black still has a problem, right? We didn't actually make life yet. And if we make life, let's say we dig in and find scrap 2 eyes here. Well, white's still probably going to seal us in. And then we're going to live in in Gote. And now white will come over here and play a move like this. Or maybe just white plays a shoulder hit too. I don't know, take your pick. But how do we feel as white?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, we feel great, right? Look, white owns the middle. This garbage doesn't matter. And this is much bigger than any territory black has. So we need to, this is a very urgent situation. We need to find this move.
It's kind of amazing how close those 2 moves are.
Yeah,
And how like terrible one is and how great the other is.
When we talked about shoulder hits, though, we talked about how like one directional the shoulder hit is, right?
Yeah.
Saying like, I'm entitled to this, you're entitled to this, let's just play it out. Any other move has way more options, has much more flexibility, has much more variations and things to think about. And that even includes a simple move, 2 space in this case.
Yeah.
You can go below or above.
The 2 space that is already undercut.
That's right, because white could say, let's go over here first, let's try to get a base, and then if you respond, then I'm gonna do that. And now we're just gonna attack you large scale. White could also play something like this, but I think this is good enough just for white to react that way. So, it's good?
Yeah.
Next one. All right, this one I don't think you guys are gonna get. Even though, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we actually looked at a variation. One of our variations looked at the big board.
This one.
Oh, well then that hints strongly.
Does it now? No, you still don't have it.
Okay.
All right, so black to play. Tell me about the board. Tell me about the game. Who's got what? Who's winning? Who has territory? Who needs a Moyo?
White has territory.
Say it again? White has more territory. Where is white's territory? This is actually not a lot. It is there, but it's not a lot. But here, this is pretty big, right? That's like 25 to 30 points. And then that corner, again, is another 10 points. We have almost another 5 to 10 here. So what is that, 50 points? Where's black's territory?
The corner and
Yeah, we got almost 20 here.
probably, yeah.
Maybe 10 there. So 30 points plus whatever we can get here.
Right.
So we need to find 20 points. But this is really difficult to find 20 points there. And furthermore, if we try to just make points, let's say we just try this. White, first of all, might just counter with an almost equal move on this side. But alternatively, white, this is open on 2 sides, right? If I defend over here, white will reduce this way. If I defend over here, white has reductions this way. So it feels bleh. It's like I have too many holes. I can't find a move that makes me enough points. So what do you think?
What about the invasion point on white's lower group?
I mean, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, now this is an idea. It's not what the pro played. But I like this thinking, and the reason I want to highlight this is that often you'll have these thick groups, especially in the center, that aren't really capable of forming territory directly. And how do we want to use thickness?
To attack.
How do we get to attack something?
Lean on it.
Make it weak.
Well, yeah,
Split things.
we cut.
Yeah.
We find a cut. In this case, we're cutting these 2 stones. And so if this has to run, yes, it has a friend nearby, but it's also true that this group actually doesn't have a guaranteed 2 eyes yet. It's very close to guaranteed 2 eyes, but it's not guaranteed yet. So it's not the best friend to run to. It's like your next to best friend. It's not Stacy, it's Amy.
It's okay.
Amy's a little mean sometimes.
Is the pro move to like attach to that weak stone?
This is the pro move.
I was gonna attach the other one. My bad.
And part, these variations are actually kind of almost too simple. Where you want to like ruck in the muck. You want to find garbage things to do. And so we want to play a more severe move. And if our opponent does something like this, we're going to do this and just ruck more muck. We just need to create weaknesses. That's really what we're looking for. And if we can create weaknesses, then, and especially ladders would be fantastic, right? Every ladder here is going to be great for us because, hello.
Right.
We have all ladders going this way and all ladders going that way. We just need to create weaknesses and fight in our neighborhood. And this is the power of thickness. If these were all white walls, this is a kamikaze mission. You can still try it, but I'm saying you can't really expect much. But since we have all the outside stones, and we're in the process of thinking of separating this one, this becomes very powerful.
What if white hunting?
Where's your territory, white?
Here?
I mean, black.
Oh, no, sorry.
Where's black's territory?
Well, he's trying to find something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I meant rather than hunting on top.
Play this way.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll just be like maybe I connect up.
How about we do this?
Ooh, exciting.
And the cut.
You want to cut
We're gonna
this
start
way?
hitting those ladders.
Okay.
That's not so good.
Connect.
You want to just connect?
That was the
You can
standard
run
way to
that
play,
black stone
right?
directly into the wall.
Standard way to
Let's
play is
move.
to connect.
Yeah, white's move.
It's like giving
below
black too much in the
This way.
center.
Yeah.
I don't know. That, you can
Oh,
do that. Oh, that looks
This
dangerous.
is danger. Danger.
That looks kind of dangerous.
Danger.
Yeah, now those 3
I
stones.
guess that gives us a ladder.
Now,
Oh, this ladder's broken because it has this stone, but
now you could play
if white
cold.
runs, we're actually not going to ladder.
I'm just gonna let him get in there.
We're just going to be like,
Yeah, this is a disaster. So you can't do that.
Black is super happy.
You can't do that.
White had 25
If
points.
you're gonna
Here.
do that, you gotta play that cove. Isn't there a cove there?
Maybe. Way different variation. But here's the point. This is why we ruck in the muck, okay? We're finding a weakness. If our opponent is trying to capture us real hard or connect, we will find something to do.
Right.
And so if you play this move, I don't think you're wrong. Like this move is very it's like really surprisingly similar to this one. But this one just starts it immediately and kind of prevents our
Doesn't
opponent
mean
from-
that upper honey is no good.
You want this, honey?
Yeah. Well, okay, no, I don't wanna cut. I don't
Okay,
wanna-
play another move, Dan.
Oh, I don't know. I'll do the securing honey, the chicken honey.
This honey?
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Can I do that? Okay, can I? Now what? Okay, so it's not so bad.
Are you gonna link?
How much territory are you gonna get? No, I'm not gonna link. I gotta go after that stone.
This one?
No. This one? No.
What?
Extend.
This way.
No, oh, that way? I was thinking that way, but then maybe I can go the other way.
Okay.
Okay, this is not so bad. I don't think.
Are you gonna net?
No, can't not. That can't give you everything.
Here? You're gonna fight here?
Sure. Okay. Go.
Go where? Net?
No,
Here?
no, the other way.
This way.
Yeah, that way. Okay, well, okay, now we can fight. No, I'm serious. Can't we fight? Are we in trouble?
I think these two are dead.
You think they're dead?
Where are they gonna go?
But they're gonna attack these guys.
You're gonna poke here?
No, come on.
What do you, these are
You
dead.
can kill them?
Yes. Well, I mean, you can get some compensation. You needed the net over here.
I don't want a net. I don't have time
Okay.
to net. Okay. Okay, so we can't net. Hold on. We need to do a big scale thing, but maybe we don't have time for this.
That's my point.
So maybe we need to do a big scale thing.
No, I
Okay.
mean, there-
Well,
Well,
either way,
it's a reasonable.
this is a fine move. You should play it.
yeah. Well,
When you have, especially when you're strong on the outside and you want to reduce your opponent, this is a move to consider. This attachment when your opponent has something like this or like this, especially like this.
I don't want to net.
White is committed to the corner. We don't want to necessarily invade. This is a difficult invasion to pull off. This puts pressure over here. It threatens to just actually just come out and just make perhaps even sente thickness, in which case if we get a sente wall over here, then we're coming back over here.
Right. But what happened in the game? Didn't he?
I don't know. That was the joke.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I didn't look past this in the game.
Was this like a random game you found?
No, this is all from actually.
Not even one move?
Brian, can you grab the book over there? I should do an advertisement. That one, yeah. This is a Go book I recommend highly, and people say it's old, but it's a classic. Reducing Territorial Frameworks by Shuko Fujisawa.
Okay, well,
And-
so black is the reducer?
Yes.
Well, it looks to me
Well,
like...
let's talk about the book, 'cause the book is much cooler than all of us collectively. This book, it actually plays a number of variations that are like the most common variations of Joseki you see in Go. And the most common Joseki, I'm not talking about corner Joseki, I'm talking about reducing Joseki. Shoulder hits and caps, namely. And so, if you don't know what to do when your opponent shoulder hits, and you didn't see my lecture last week, go get this book. It'll take you through all the variations. And it does very methodically and very beautifully and very simply. And at the back of the book, there's a bunch of crazy problems, and they're all pro-game problems, and that's where most of these are coming from. So I did, these are all essentially stolen with slight alterations from this book.
Okay.
So it's a great book. I highly recommend it. This if you have a Go book collection. Go books I rent to people. People ask me all the time, what Go books do I need to have?
So what century is this game from?
Mostly like 70s and 80s.
Oh,
And by century, you mean the 20th.
you mean.
I talk a lot about getting life and death problems. Just get a book of life and death problems. That's number one purchase. Number two purchase, I really like the Making Good Shape book because that'll improve your intuition. So that's also highly up. And if you're a practical, I just want to improve my game, get better. This is probably my number 3 on the recommendation list. If you're more conceptual and you like Go because of the beauty and the art, I really like the Takeo Kajiwara Direction of Play. But a lot of people I know hate that book. And a lot of people go, this book taught me nothing. And I go, I know, isn't it great? But anyway, all those selections are much better than Andrew Jackson's favorite Go book to recommend, which is Zone Press Park. I think it's the Otake Hideo book. Under no circumstance should anyone expect to learn Go from that book. That will not happen. But again, if you're very...
Does Andrew Jackson watch your videos to hear you troll him? Is that...
he has a toddler. So the answer is no. I know, but see, I don't watch my videos either. This is how I know this. All right, last problem. This one I don't think anyone's gonna get. I don't think anyone's gonna play the pro move, but you can at least tell me what's going on this board. First of all, is this anything?
Really strong.
It's a wall for black.
There is nothing.
It's like an undercut wall.
Yeah, this white group is netted, that is dead, the corner's alive, there's nothing you can do here, there's nothing you can do here. Yes, some jackass on the internet is thinking, but I can push here. Oh, sorry, you didn't hear that. Someone yelled at me for swearing on my channel the other day.
Well,
Yeah?
Really?
could have been worse.
Well, you need to do the penny arcade thing. This is features adults
Right.
using adult.
I know, that's right. Actually, it's right I think it was like I got a compliment and then I got yelled at. It was like by the same person.
By the same person?
Yeah, because they were clearly like watching the video, they're like, this is awesome. And then there's like profanity at some point. And then he had to go back and comment again. This is terrible. All right, what's going on this board?
Got a weak stone here.
Yeah, there's some weak stones. Where are the territories? Who has points?
Black has some corners.
Some
White
small
has
corners.
They're not huge. Yeah, everything's pretty small. 10 points here,
White
10
has
points
a
here,
big corner.
10 points here,
But it's unsettled.
30 points for black.
Kind of.
Where's white's points?
The one corner.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, this still feels open,
Is
but
this, yeah, I was gonna say, is that invadable?
Yeah.
Looks like black can just
yeah.
jump in.
it seems like it
You can
works.
even do 3-3 there.
3-3 is at least co, if not more.
Oh, okay.
It might.
Even with the weakness?
I don't know. Here. Okay, here. Depends on white's next move. If white plays here, this is his co. Sorry, co. Okay. So it's at least co. I think doing something like this or attaching is probably safer in this case.
Thanks.
Okay. So this is almost 10 points, a little bit less than 10 points. This isn't anything yet. This, we don't, undetermined. Again, black has moves like here. So,
What's the strong move in this situation?
that's my question to you, Brennan.
Always the question.
That's my
Well, if
question.
we are reducing territorial frameworks,
Is it, wait, is it black to play?
There's a black to play.
If we're reducing points, I'd jump into like White's territory.
And this problem I put up because it's not a problem I would ever come close to getting the correct answer to. Right? This is not, or maybe not correct answer, but certainly not what the pro played. Things I would think about, right? Number one, this feels like the biggest corner territory, so my eye is drawn up here. But it also feels like the center can get quite big.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I have a stone here and I have a wall here, so it's like I can always reduce the center later. This stone is weak, and my normal reaction would be to sort of give it some backup, give it a connection out here. But this stone feels bad because I already have a second line stone here, so this isn't working well. Like this is a bad shape, bad connection. So
what makes you, I'm not familiar with why this would be a bad relationship.
So this is already undercut. If your opponent is going to attack you over here, you're like, that's great. I'm just going to keep pushing this way now. Right? It's inefficient, is what I'm
Sure.
saying. If my opponent wants this, I can push from this way.
Okay, so
So
it's hard for them to get it.
exactly,
therefore,
exactly,
You play there like, good, I didn't want to play there anyways.
exactly. Right? I play there and it's like, well, okay. So very kind of strange situation where everyone kind of defeated the other player, right? Like this isn't really territory because black, has stuff under here. This is definitely not black territory because white got these two moves sticking. This is where black would have really liked to build something.
Yeah.
This doesn't have two eyes yet, so maybe there's some weakness, but not for a long time. Have to be much later.
This is a stumper.
Yeah. And so I'll show you the book move. I'll show you the pro game move. Unless you guys want to try it, anyone want to try to guess it? Let's go for like this is the snitch capturing move right here. If you win this, if you find the move, you get 100 points for Gryffindor.
People on the internet are going to yell at you that you got the wrong number of points.
How many points is the snitch?
More than
Isn't it
that.
150?
150?
I think it's 150.
Okay, but we can all agree that Quidditch is stupid. Why do they bother with the other balls at all? Why not just get the snitch? Send everybody after the snitch, okay? If you end the game, you get 150 points, you go home. You go home a champion.
I have now undoubtedly baited you into really getting yelled at on the internet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm glad you buried this at the end of the video.
That's the title. Complain that Darth Vader will score back.
Just change the thumbnail or something. The least.
Probably gonna annoy everyone.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Maybe just cap that white stone. That one.
Cap this white stone.
Yeah, I don't know.
And just be like, I don't know what to do, so I'll tack your one stone. That's too close to my wall already. But I won't attack it severely. I'm gonna
Just like lean a little bit.
very gently massage it into the side of the board.
Does it have anything to do with those ridge lines or
Sector lines?
sector lines?
In this case, no. I'm not even sure where a sector is. It's really hard to compute a sector.
I was
here.
gonna say,
This is the sector ladder
Yeah,
right
I'm
here.
going to say that one.
I mean, it is, all right, so the move of the pro play is sort of along a sector line, but it's really not a sector line move,
Okay.
if you can find a sector line. Any other ideas? Who wants to be the Quidditch
The
champion.
only things that could be lines is like here and maybe here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
now we've,
I was thinking about something, I don't know, here to build this one in and then to cut off that potential.
Well, no last minute. Okay, he's gonna have it. Oh, so the correct move is an attachment.
but not
But
that.
not that one. But not that one. No. So I think I don't remember the players in this game, but the black player is thinking bigger. Is thinking, you know, white doesn't have as much territory as I have right now. I'm just gonna make a mess of his potential. And we're gonna do it by quasi-attacking things while making a mess. And he plays here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Is that?
And there's a couple things going on here. Number one, if this just connects and becomes strong, this wall might actually be attackable.
Right.
Number two, there is a cut here. And so black is really trying to find a sequence that aims at this cut. And you go, no, but there's a ladder, right? So there's no cut here, except what?
Ladder breaker.
There's a perfectly positioned, stupid-looking stone over here that sets up this cut. Isn't that gorgeous?
This move, the correct move kind of feels a little bit like the probe that you said wouldn't be on the test.
I did say that. How unfortunate for you. So, yeah, this is what he's trying to come up with, right? It's a way to get into the center and try to expose two weaknesses, but also by attaching, you're exploring for weaknesses. You're not really feeling strong enough to just dive in here. But maybe if we lean on this and can expose this cut or get a free Atari somewhere, maybe there's something there. And I think, I don't know if this is the game, I remember the book showed this sequence, showed this is the next move for white, which seems very passive, but again, it's a move and it's very solid. Again, if you were worried about this stone getting cut off, this sort of links up everything, so now you have no problem. So it's certainly a strong move, even though it looks passive. But I had the next move for black, I think, is here.
Oh my gosh.
In response to that. And then I forgot what white did, but the next move after that is here.
Yeah, wow.
And so, if white is busy worrying about these things, you can actually see black's true objective here is to actually get something here.
Right.
In doing so, maybe make this wall useful, again, not to make territory over here, but to actually build the center. And so that's kind of it is kind of like a probe in that sense. It is a multi-directional move. It's trying to think in a lot of different directions. But if you just play that one move in the game, you do not get anything correct. You need to now play the next 15 moves correctly in order to make that move worth it. But the idea is interesting, right? It's really trying to separate, while again aim at these weaknesses, and even potentially maybe contribute to the center on a larger scale Moyo building mission. So I threw it on here. I don't really have a lot more to say about it that would actually be smart. I could probably say things that sound smart. But I still think it's an interesting, I just thought it was a creative, like, oh wow, I would not have thought of that. Let's put that as your last problem for the day. Kind of idea. It's a cool move, certainly, right? Like this is sort of one of those non-obvious, it's like, huh, all right. See how this goes. If we can look at some more common expected results, this would be expected if white were to Hane on top. And again, the idea is pretty simple. We're leaving weaknesses for white, right? We have Ataris here we can take. And if white tries to fight us, well, that's not really fixing weaknesses, right? We have, this cut, Atari, we can descend. We have ways to get out, make eyes, or connect. So there are interesting things to do. So anyway, on that note, I'll leave it there. If you disagree with my stance on Quidditch, feel free to leave an internet comment.